Hey everybody, it's Joric. Welcome back. Hope you're doing great wherever you are. As you know, I like to talk about all things Portugal, try to get to day-to-day life. This is something that I wanted to talk about briefly. If you've come here for a vacation, if you just moved here, or if you've lived here for a while, like we live in Lisbon, so often the streets and traffic can be gridlock in the morning or the rush hours in the afternoon. But what we found is like people drive like maniacs around the country, and that's not a knock on any. That's a knock on everyone who comes. So locals, foreigners, you name it. It seems like if we get an Uber someplace or a taxi, it sometimes you got to buckle up because it's sometimes there isn't a rhyme or reason. I think it's hilarious how the culture to me seems very laid back and easygoing. But when it comes to driving, everyone that comes to Portugal or lives here wants to get to where they're going immediately. So, and it bore out recently here. Portugal found 17,000 speeders caught in 7 days in some of the photo radars that they have set up. And I wanted to bring this to your attention because if you're going to come here for a vacation, you do have to be aware of it. You can't just drive whatever speed limit you want. I mean, I take that back. You could, you're going to get fined. And this also is brought out on the heels of the government is projecting that they're looking to collect almost $125 million in fines, traffic fines, over this next year. And I'm going, holy cow, that's a lot of money. But if you're looking at if they do install more cameras and they do control the speeds, and I will say they do need to because there are a lot of accidents, and because each year that we've lived here, even walking across a crosswalk in parts of Lisbon, even in our neighborhood, I will say buses have always stopped, taxis have always stopped. So taxi drivers and bus drivers, great job of always kind of heeding to pedestrians. Less and less cars are stopping, so we're halfway through the crosswalk and there's still a car that drives in front of us as we're going past. Um, Often I see the TVDE, which is the little symbol that like Uber and Bolt drivers put in their vehicle. So that's something that we've reported. Some of those people that drove by, often getting into the crosswalk, you have to be very cautious because you might have to take a step or two and keep watching the oncoming traffic or car to see if they're going to slow down or not, because sometimes they just don't. So as more people are not caring or just driving past pedestrians and there's more accidents that are being reported here in Portugal, it makes sense that they're going to try to clamp down on some of the speeding and just some of the basic laws of stopping and letting pedestrians go across the crosswalk, but also in the highway areas, people driving ridiculous kilometers per hour. And so if they get in an accident, there's a high chance that there's going to be a fatality or a serious wreck out there. So I wanted to make sure that those of you coming, those of you living here, and if you're going to if you're going to take an Uber or Bolt, or if you're going to purchase a vehicle and use it, be mindful of the speed limits. I think they're posted in most areas, like our neighborhood. They do a really good job of posting those. Also, if you're using like a little Waze or a map system for driving a GPS, often they'll tell you what the kilometers of per hour are in different areas of Portugal so that you know, even if you may not have seen a sign, you'll know what the speed limit is. But take it easy. Also, just a note, if you're in, it can be a taxi too, to make sure that you buckle up in the back seat. It's not something that we were used to in the past, but now we're getting used to every ride because we've had several instances where we haven't been in an accident, but we've been to the point where we were, I'd say, pushed out of our back seat into the back headrest of the driver or the passenger seat in front of us because of an abrupt stop. So just something to note. But as you're thinking about Portugal and as you're living and experiencing it either on a vacation or day to day, be cautious when you're driving, be respectful of the laws here, and know that most likely the government's going to put more photo camera in place, or there may be more opportunities for the police to pull you over if you're speeding, because it looks like that's something that they're going to target this next year and try to collect more revenue in the fines, which I think is good, because I think sometimes people are just driving, like I said, like maniacs, and it's everyone in the country, not anyone in particular. It's everyone that's behind a wheel seems to be driving crazy. So, wanted to get this information out to you. Again, hope you're having a great day wherever you are. If you're looking to come to Portugal, please hit me up. I have some expat consulting services that may be of interest to you. And as always, enjoy your travels.